Hey guys, it's friend Zaf here. Today is March 22nd, 2018. As some of you guys know, today's my birthday. I turned 25 years old. If this was the old Zaf, I would just kind of brush it off like, okay, who cares? It's kind of doesn't take much effort, you know what I'm saying, to turn 25, like whoopee, right? But I've come to realize like it's really important to celebrate, any victory, big and small. There's no such thing as a small victory, you know what I'm saying? Because the big victories are just an accumulation of small victories. Point being that it's not only about what you do that should be celebrated, but the things you don't do. And, the things that I didn't do, like go to jail, fucking become a drug addict, alcoholic, or any of those things that are outside of my character. And I'm just really glad to be able to make it to this age and not have to anchor so many repercussions. Of course I've made mistakes, everybody has, but it's not to that severity like some people, the less fortunate and stuff like that. So this video is not about me, actually. It's about you, because I'm trying to make it a habit, because I'm naturally a selfish person, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I really want to give to other people. I just want to be in service to other people, because that's how you really just discover who you are, is when you kind of lose yourself through helping other people. And the point of this video is I just want to share my 3 pillars, my foundations as a person that I've learned to harness, to cultivate in my 25 years of living. And mind you, this is really recent where I've come across these things that uphold me and keep me consistent and help me become the eye of the storm, in a world where there's just so much chaos and just pollution and of the mind, body, ego, all that stuff, right? So the 3 things that keep me going are to be present-minded. If you're present-minded, then fear can't. Is it fear? Oh fuck, god damn it! I forgot this. Okay, so I have the pillars of mine. I have 6 exactly. So I have growth and understanding, and I have patience and application, and I have instinct and sensitivity. So I will go across all 6 of them. I've grouped them together so I make it as simple as possible for myself, and it should be able to help other people. I don't know, but as far as growth and understanding, it's really important for me to keep moving forward. So what I mean by that is if I'm not growing every day, then I'm dying. You know what I'm saying? Because in a constantly changing world, if you're stagnant, the distance between you and the world is just growing larger and larger. Competition is not healthy, but it is necessary. It is necessary for, in terms of the technological aspects of life, of advancing and getting through careers, and stuff like that. So that's where it's healthy. It's not healthy in relationships and stuff like that, of course. But with everything, moderation, right? You just got to have that moderation, that balance. So understanding is the second part of that, those 2 joint elements. And understanding is very crucial because for a large period of my life, I just accumulated knowledge, and knowledge is mainly third party. It's like what they experience, right? Oh God, my arm disappeared. Didn't mean to scare you. But it's basically what they experience. It's the person outside of me for the most part. So understanding, though, is like something where it's just so true that just all elements of your being is just absolutely aligned with the fact. It's just no hesitation. Like, you just understand. And that's just how I operate. If I understand something, it's like I'm a completely different person. There's no hesitation. It's just pure confidence. And that's what I strive for, is to understand things. Even if I understand and I don't understand, that's a lot better than me just not understanding at all. Okay, so those 2 things together, they help maintain that momentum that I carry on in life. So the next set of elements are instinct and sensitivity. So the thing about instinct is that a lot of times the very first voice you hear is actually your voice, and then the longer you go between the stimulus of what's happened to you and whatever your response is, the longer that gap occurs, the more voices that start to fill in that moment. And those voices, except for the very first one, at least in my experience, those voices are voices of your conditioning, your biases, your past, things that are really old and just, that's not you. So whenever you get that gut instinct, follow it, because that's how you become like in sync with who you are and wherever you've originated, right? Because this is all temporary. My body's temporary, my attachments, all of that stuff, my relationships, everything is temporary, right? But by understanding that, it helps me with the next thing, which is being sensitive. When you're sensitive, it means that you are malleable in a positive way, not like you're a pushover. That, you know, that's bullshit. In this macho man society, that's what they try to push onto you, is to be hard, you know, be tough guy. But one of my great mentors, Kaizen, taught me. He said that, you know, hard is soft and soft is hard, and what he means by that is that it's very difficult for somebody to be vulnerable. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just being vulnerable in a sense of security. We're talking about like on the mental aspect. To be able to admit something is so difficult for people. It is such a challenge to just be like, I might not know what the fuck I'm talking about. Excuse my language. I'm pretty sure I have family watching this and they'd be like, oh my God, you did so good. Why did you swear? I'm sorry. Forgive me, please. Cut. But anyways, so I am, I'm just saying that basically if you're going to be sensitive, it means that you're able to just read between the lines of the things that don't matter. You know, and you're just in tune. Being sensitive is a really powerful thing, and I feel like people have dulled that sense because they're trying to be something, to abide to some standard of society. You know, so there's that, and then the last two things are for persistence, or rather, it's persistence and applications. Those two together, and they joint together. You know, they create patience, because if you can persist but also apply, then you will be able to, I at least for me, again speaking for myself, so I have been able to develop patience by being able to persist and then constantly apply. If you do one without the other, you're kind of just like dragging your feet through the mud, you know, and sometimes even taking 5 steps back and 2 steps forward, but now you're actually 3 steps back. So you want to be able to persist, and when some sort of like curveball gets thrown at you, it's not the end of the world. And I stress this because it does not matter who you are, it doesn't matter how rich you are, how poor you are, you know, black, white, straight, gay, doesn't matter. No matter what happens to you after you've succeeded, there will always be a new problem. It's the only thing is that your new problem might be a better problem depending on how you solved the previous problem. So in knowing that, it's alleviating to know like, yo, my life doesn't have to be perfect. Being perfect, like, I honestly think happiness is overrated. I stress this all the time. Being happiness is overrated. Everybody tries to get locked into this idea of permanence. Permanence does not exist. Again, nothing is permanent. The ultimate attachment, which is your body, is not even permanent. So how can anything else be permanent? So in knowing that, kind of gives you that freedom. Like, even when bad things happen to you, you know it's not permanent. There might be more bad things that will happen to you. I'm not saying that there's always going to be a rainbow on the other side of the rain. No, there might be a hurricane. There might be a torrential storm. You know, a blizzard. I don't know. It could get worse, but it can also get better. You know. So I share those 6 elements with you, and hopefully this was just kind of like a freestyle in the moment because I've been so busy today, but I really wanted to say something today because today's a really special day for me, and it's just the start of returning to Zaf, you know, because people think that when you elevate you have to become a new person. A lot of the times it's not really the case. You're really just subtracting from what you've absorbed from your environment, from nurture, nature, and you're actually returning to your pure state. So thank you guys. I love you guys, and I really, really appreciate like just everybody that's shown me love today. And you know, in order to get love, you have to give love, and to give love, you have to be love. And I really am just happy to be on this path of trying to be love, you know, and just trying to be that light that can just gleam in anybody's life and just guide them, or, you know, even allow other people to guide me, because the teacher can be the student and the student can be the teacher, of course, right? So I'm just grateful for everything. I'm grateful for my ups, my downs, the lefts, the rights, right? You know, the heartbreaks, the heartaches, the triumphs, the successes. Everything's just made me who I am, and I wouldn't change it for anything, to be honest, you know, because the second you remove one thing about you, then you're just a completely different person. So, I'm just appreciative of the fact, and I cannot wait to see what the rest of my life brings me. A quarter of a century. So yeah, so thank you guys. I appreciate it. Stay tuned for more. Zaf out. Peace.